Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us for our Thursday night continuing education. We are so blessed to have Vanessa joining us tonight. Vanessa is a beautiful friend, a beautiful support person, someone that I care about very deeply. And we got to experience Nepal together as well, which was one of my most favourite memories of Vanessa and I. And tonight we are blessed to have her here talking about something that she's very, very well versed in, essential oils, but also using them with the chakras and how we can support our emotional and spiritual well-being, not just our physical. So I would really love to introduce Vanessa and get her to just tell us a little bit about what drew you to doTERRA's essential oils, and then let you riff on what you love, my dear.
Hey, thank you so much for having me, Erin. It's beautiful to be here, and thank you all for showing up. It's really lovely. I'm living in Perth, Western Australia at the moment, and I'm loving just kind of being really urged to this place right here, right now. Normally I am flying everywhere with my passions for teaching about aromatherapy. So what brought me to doTERRA was the purity of their oils, actually, and the way that they work with their farmers, their growers, the communities, and healing hands. So those reasons really got me. I've been using essential oils since I was about 15, maybe a bit earlier, and but definitely avidly from 15, and I'm 45 now. So it's been going on for a while. I started teaching about aromatherapy in my 20s. My background is in psychology, and while I studied my 6 years of psych, I did lots of integrative therapies, so Reiki and advanced courses here and there, and personal development. Do you remember the 90s, for those of you that are kind of around my age, and we were doing all the personal development stuff? So I was doing lots of that stuff too. And just really, my passion is around how we can all return to love, and how we can all reclaim our birthright to a life of joy and open-heartedness and abundance in all of its levels. So that's why doTERRA really gives us the vessel to capture all of that and to magnetize it to our lives. And my husband and I, like Erin, journey this as a business, and we really enjoy dancing it together. And we've had some amazing opportunities to travel all around the world with doTERRA on some of those beautiful cause projects that I mentioned. Nepal was one, but there have been others. So it's been great. It's been a beautiful journey. Yeah. So Adam Barrelay is another really good friend of mine and Erin's, and he and I are really passionate about sharing how you can use and tap into these powerful medicines. And how we love to access it is by really just tapping into Mama Gaia, Mother Earth, right? And really hearing her song, tapping into the plants themselves. So rather than just, okay, I have an essential oil of something here, or a melody, really working with the plants. So what we did was, for those that don't know, we wrote this book together, Gifts of the Essential Oils. And in there we have just single note oils. So we've actually pulled apart a lot of the doTERRA blends, and you can learn more about things like vanilla and the cacao absolutes that are both in Whisper, for instance, and vanilla shows up in a few, right? So this book will definitely guide you on the spiritual realm stuff that we're talking about tonight, in the emotional realm. It has correspondences with chakras. That's one of Adam's deep, deep core passions. Cacao, which is one of mine, is in here as well. And then we have this thing called the chakras, right? So who here knows what chakras are, or knows anything about the chakra system? Can you just let me know in the chat? Just put a Y or an N, so I know whether I need to even describe that, explain that. And what I want to say here is when you're working in the spiritual aspects and the emotional aspects, it's so subjective. So what I'm going to share with you tonight, take with you what resonates with you and discard the rest. It doesn't all have to resonate with you just because, you know, Vanessa Jean said so, and she's got all this experience, and she's written books, and she's this, and she's that, and she travels around the world teaching, she must be right. None of that. None of that. You don't give away your power, right? You keep tuning into what feels good for you, what works well for you, right? Even what I have here that you know, that I've got written for the chakras, it's not written in stone anywhere. Because here's the thing. Chakras, for those that don't know, are these, imagine these beautiful energy centers in the body, all through your body, and they align with your spine, and they go above your crown and below the soles of your feet. And they're like this beautiful gateway into understanding self and bringing self into balance. They're pure light vibration moving, so they can get out of balance and they can come back in balance. They can create harmony when you feel there's discordancy in your life. They can bring you back to a sense of, I'm home, here I am, hello, where chaos may have reigned a moment before, right? So this is an internal, beautiful way of navigating our own spiritual path and emotional path. Does that make sense about the chakras? So for instance, you can have chakras that are balanced and you feel like, I feel so good in this world. I just feel so safe to express myself. So that's how a balanced being can show up with around the throat chakra. It's Phoebe, Erin. Yeah. So that's how balanced, say, throat chakra can show up. I just feel so safe to express my truth, and you'll feel yourself just expressing with gentle ease or with passion, but you feel confident. One where imbalance shows up, someone could be over talking, really nervously talking, over talking, trying to fill in the space, or just totally withdrawn and not wanting to say anything. So can you feel the differences there? So something that's really beautiful to do is to pick up your essential oils. And do you all have essential oils there? Let's do it right now. Let's just drop in right now. I want you to just take the lid off the bottle. I just have my little wild orange here. And just inhale. And I want you to notice where you feel the essential oil go. Where's that first point it goes to? Where does it linger? Where do you feel it journey? And notice how you feel. Notice how you feel as you tap into that. So that's one way you can do this. Pretty simple, hey. All you need is your essential oils, your nose, and trusting yourself. Just feeling where it goes. So that's one way you can do this. You can tap in at any given moment on any given day with an essential oil you're drawn to, for instance, or maybe one that you've read about in our book and you're like, I so need that in my life because of this, this, and this. And you feel where it goes and you're like, oh my gosh, perfect. I just felt that straight in my heart. Boom. Right? So I'll teach you something just a little more. We'll go just a touch deeper on it. So this is so funny today, every time I've opened this, I did an online class for Oil Life as well, and this same beautiful plant appeared. I love her so much. Her name is Marjoram. If you haven't met her, meet her. She is exquisite. So each essential oil, so each part of the plant has 2 pages dedicated to it. This is a really fun way you can kind of equalize yourself again, bring harmony back. And you'll see that they have 3 key words for them. They have my gift to you is, so whatever the gift is, and there's a practice, and under the practice there's an affirmation. Now, if you just kind of scan your eyes over that and not worry about all the words in between, and see where your eyes land. So you'll see softness. Okay, softness. Oh my gosh, my heart just melts with that. I melt when I feel that. Notice how you feel just even saying the word to yourself. And then just pick up the bottle of marjoram. And if you don't have it, just close your eyes and call in the blessing of that plant, because Mama Gaia is all around us, right? So this is pure vibration. So you just call in the blessing of that plant and feel where that goes. So you're focusing on softness, and then feel as you inhale that or you call that energy in where that goes. And that's usually a really good indication. My heart, or that went straight to my solar plexus. And you can look at where and how can I bring, so yours was your throat, Erin. Yeah. So where and how can I bring more softness to this particular area in my body? And let's say it was, okay, so for Erin, it was her throat. Okay, it was her throat. So let's say it was the throat. So the throat chakra, we look at that and we say, okay, what does the throat chakra mean to me? How do I feel when I feel like I'm not in balance here? This area governs our respiratory system, right? You think about when we feel fearful or like those butterflies, those anxious feelings, what happens here? We can clamp down a bit. We can just stop taking those deep breaths, and the energy can kind of stop here. So what you could do is make a little roller bottle with marjoram in it, not because anyone's told you marjoram is a throat chakra oil, but because you held the word softness in, you inhaled or thought about or called in marjoram, and you felt it go here. And you trust, because Mama Gaia has everything we need, that that's going to bring that softness, that tenderness, that gentleness to this place again. Is this making sense to you guys? Am I too, like if I'm not clear enough, please tell me. Or is this too woo-woo for this group? I don't know. I mean, Erin's freaking amazing. She's like this amazing nurse who has all of this deep understanding, and I'm coming in talking about calling in oils and plants that you don't have. So hopefully you just stay with me. So does that help? Does that help with another way that you can navigate it all with this book and really make the most of using, flexing, enhancing, strengthening the muscle of your intuition and the muscle of your self-confidence and self-belief?
Yep, this week we've been focusing on creating more mindfulness, creating intentional use of essential oils, lifting brain fog, and using our oils aromatically for that. So this whole week we've been focusing on this side of using essential oils. So this is great. This is great.
Great. Okay, awesome. So when you see me look to this side, I'm not that tech savvy, but I've got my little whatever it's called, like an iPad thing set up here, and I just took some notes down so that I could stay on track, because what happens is as you start to flex the muscles of your intuition more, you start to feel and experience a lot more. So something that happens for me is I'm picking up the energy of everyone in the group. Certain things stand out and I'll kind of veer off to address that. So I want to try and just stick to this to cover this and then open it up to questions. However, I want to see comments in there, questions in there. We can like flag us, just put in the comments, can I ask a question? And once I stop to take a breath, which is rare, but you know, Erin will flag me and say, Ness, we've got a question. You know, and we'll take it live time as things come up for you. If not, just kind of write the question down and we'll come back to it. Okay, so there are 7 main chakras that people tend to work with. But there are other chakras. There are minor chakras, like in your hands, your palms, and the soles of your feet. And that's often where people you know, forget any formal training in Reiki or pranic healing or any of that, but that's where people, children, beings naturally go to someone and say, oh, let me just, are you okay? Let me just nourish that for you. You know, we naturally want to nurture someone or nourish them. They've hurt their shoulder and we put our hand on it. And our hands can often heat up. You feel that energy center activate, it awakens, and it brings through the energy that needs to come through for that person. And really, we just need to have the intention of love, right? So that's some of the chakras there. But then we have, so we have like the base chakra, you know, the sacral, we have the solar plexus, the heart chakra, the throat, the ajna, or the third eye, and the crown. That's what most people know. But let's go just a little bit below. So if you just imagine the soles of your feet, you've got those beautiful chakras there. And if you dip down around 40 centimeters, I mean, I'm going to give you centimeters because, you know, I'm not metric at all. Like, I don't measure shit. Like, I don't I don't measure anything. So I just feel it. I can just feel it. But it's kind of a bit more than a ruler length down. And I just look up how far down it is, you know, to tell you. So about 40 centimeter down, you have what's called an incarnator chakra. And this chakra takes us into like those past life connections and ancestral roots, our tribe, our way of being with that, in that. It's like that place where we can go down into it and steep like a tea bag in ancient lore, you know, like hang out with the old wise ones, and you can go deeper and deeper and deeper. You can go past incarnator, but let's just start with incarnator. So that's really yummy there. And if you imagine, it's like, you know, like if you were at a fair and you walked into one of those fun tents and there was a lady there all set up in her gypsy beautiful gear, and she had a crystal ball there and it was black, right? And it had all spirally kind of rainbow colors or like a galaxy. That's kind of what this looks like. Right? It's kind of got these rainbow swirls through it. And the thing with black is black absorbs, right? So this is a good one to absorb that old stuff to help release you of it. And then it just gives it back to the earth, and the earth helps to transmute it all. So the essential oils that you can work with this, that again, just what I love, right? Myrrh and patchouli. And these oils they're not just for this site, you know, like patchouli is great for your base chakra as well, and myrrh's great. I love to do sacred womb work with rose, right? So I could work on my sacral area there. But why I'm kind of choosing them for there is because I feel like a lot of us have fallen out of touch with our capacity to tune into the wisdom and connect with the wisdom of the Great Mother. You know, we tend to go up and out. Let's go up to the divine. Let's go up into the cosmos, the star beings, the star seeds, the void, you know, but there's this place where you can journey downwards. And Native American traditions are amazing for this, where you can just kind of journey down, and you go into old earth wisdom. And this is where the ancient ones dwell and the wisdom keepers dwell. And it's really beautiful. So myrrh and patchouli are beautiful. You can combine them. You can use them singly. I just want to put a pin in that for a minute. When I talk about using any of these, you can diffuse them. You can make spritzer bottles. You can make beautiful like bath oils for yourself, or Epsom salts, or you can make this full of carrier oil and do like a master blend for yourself with these essential oils in there. And then you can just decant them out and use from this master blend. Now, the master blend can just be pure essential oils, but in something big like that, you don't want to do that. So in this case, it's with carrier oil and essential oil in it. So you might put, you know, in something this big, 20 drops of patchouli and 25 drops of myrrh, and that's a big vessel there, right? And the rest with carrier oil. You might think, it's not smelling as strong as I want, and then you can add more. But just because those 2 oils are the ones I've mentioned, that doesn't mention you can't bring up maybe some from the Earth Star chakra, which is the next one I'll talk about. And we have some spikenard, turmeric, and vetiver that can get playful there. So you might want to do a mix of these 2 lower down chakras, you know, these chakras that go down, down, take you deep. You might want to bring some of the root, the base chakras in there, oils, you know, so you can make this melody that takes you from your base chakra down into it. And then for this, you can take them and put them into, you know, like roller bottles, spritzer bottles. You can use them to spritz and cleanse the space with them. And of course, you can do beautiful, powerful aromatic dressings with them. Sorry, I'm just putting my glass jar there without breaking it. So for an aromatic dressing, if you've got around 10 mils of carrier oil, then you just add 5 to 6 drops in total of your chosen essential oils. Yes, you can do more. No, it's not needed, just to offset that question. Okay, so you could do like 2 drops of patchouli and 2 of myrrh and leave it at that. And then you might feel yourself connect as you start to work with this chakra, with another oil comes in, and you might feel like, I really feel like neroli wants to come in and support me. So then you layer with neroli. Yeah? Maybe it was for you, Erin. I just kept seeing neroli coming in there. And it's not really necessarily one for, you know, just one chakra. Like neroli, jasmine, rose, you'll see them doubling and tripling up because they're such beautiful, they're holy oils, you know, they're sacred. Same with our magnolia and blue lotus. So, you know, what mantra you can, it depends what you're going through, right? Like, what are you wanting to connect with? What are you wanting to dissolve? What feels really good for you with this? So if I tell you this is around past connections, past life connections, ancestral roots, tribal stories, what is it that you want? Do you want to connect more deeply with them, or do you want to dissolve some of the stuff around that that's shackling you? Yeah. So you could be affirming with that, you know, as your mantra, I'm a sovereign, freestanding being. My spirit soars in the truth of who I am. I connect deeply to the ancient wisdom that sings to me. Yeah? Yeah. So your Earth Star chakra that I just touched on is about 30 centimeters, below the feet, the soles of your feet. And it's coming into the reddish brown color, you know, or you can imagine a bit of an ochre or whatever it feels like for you. You know, you're going into that red earth color, right? So her magic here is to help assist you to connect with that collective consciousness of Gaia. So Gaia is Mother Nature, Mother Earth. It's that Demeter energy. If you connect more with the deities, the goddesses. And as you connect with that collective consciousness, you can deepen your relationship then with Mother Earth, with Gaia, and all of her children, the animals, the minerals, the plants. So does anyone here have a particular affinity with crystals, gems, stones, rocks, you know, geology? Does any of that make you sing? Are you connected with the strata of the earth, like going into the different layers? Are you connected with the animals, with the plants, any plants in particular? Like, you know, this is the one that helps you connect more deeply and helps you to listen more deeply. And you may find that your clairaudience, the capacity to hear really deeply, is going to come up. So for Tanya, who's saying, I love my crystals and stones, she might start to find that she's hearing them speak to her, hearing them tell her what they need, where they want to go, when they want to be taken out under the moon or buried in the earth for a bit or not used at all or whatever it might be. Yeah. You can put beautiful crystals in your concoctions as well. Like I love putting herbs in mine, herbs and flowers. I'm a real plant girl. I'm totally plant-based by choice, and I've heard them since I was a little girl. And animals are my heart song. I used to work a lot with crystals, and to be honest, it's much less now. Adam is the crystal guru. He's freaking amazing. Go to crystalconnections.com. Just type it in if you want, Erin. If anyone of you want to buy any crystals, I highly recommend you get it from him. He's very intuitive and he can feel, and he only has the real and good pure ones. Okay, so as you work with this, you know, oils like spikenard, turmeric, and vetiver come to mind, right? But like I said, they're great base chakra oils as well. Imagine putting those three and adding a little bit of that feminine energy of the myrrh or the patchouli coming in, you know, to take you in deeper, right? So you can really work powerfully with these beautiful oils. So your base chakra is at the base of the spine, or the coccyx type area. It's a beautiful red color. Now, again, these colors, they may not appear as colors to you, and it's totally okay. They could all just be white or golden orbs, and that's okay. I'm just telling you traditionally what's out there and what people see. Which oils are intense, Erin? The spikenard, turmeric, and vetiver. Yeah, so it's really interesting because spikenard and the vetiver are these beautiful roots, gorgeous root energy going down, down, down into the earth, down, 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 anchoring. Rhizome energy is a little bit different. It's the turmeric and the ginger, the rhizome energy goes down and out. You know, so how deep do you want to go? Where do you want to stay? What kind of energy do you want to tap into as you're working with these? It's really, really blown my mind. I'll share with you, I had some stuff come through intuitively around rhizomes and roots. And then about, it was a really short time later, about 3 weeks later, 3 or 4 weeks, this book lands at my door that I ordered. I love Salvatore Battagliano. He's amazing. And Sal had in one of the chapters, he talked about roots and rhizomes, and I hadn't seen it anywhere. So that's what you'll find, that kind of stuff starts to happen. And then I learned even more from that. So, okay, this base chakra, so those two that I mentioned, you know, the Incarnator and Earth Star, they are connected really deeply with your intuition, and psychic abilities can emerge from working with those, not just with your top chakras. I think people always focus on these top chakras, but the base is like the most primal, instinctive part. This is like that flight, fight, freeze. This is your sympathetic system. This is the amygdala hijack that happens here, right? This is like, we're going to get out. There's a tiger chasing us, you know, and it's usually our own fears. It's, you know, our thoughts, and we're running constantly from them. So this is, this one has a huge role for your nervous system and your adrenals. So when there's a lack of balance there, you might want to look at balancing out that nervous system and your adrenals. And I'm sure Erin can give you lots for that. But you want to go for a lot of the calming oils for that, to balance that, you know. So what's calming for you may not be the same as me, you know. Maybe you want to bring in some Roman chamomile at that point, yeah. But the base oils that I've chosen, which work really beautifully with bringing stillness and working with the nervous system. So for the stillness and the grounding and the centering is cedarwood, patchouli, vetiver. And then I have black pepper and grapefruit in there as well. Because black pepper, even juniper berry could have been in here for fears, but she's more an upper chakra angel. When we have fears, which is, you know, in the base, they often dwell there. When we have fears locked into our body, they kind of spin in this weird way, kind of like, you know, anti-clockwise almost, if you imagine that. And they're spinning us, they're taking us into turmoil, they spin us out of control, in italics. So we feel like we don't have anything to grip onto, we feel like we can't see the wood for the trees. You know, all these sayings that we say are there for a reason, whereas black pepper, juniper, myrrh, patchouli, they're all really comfortable in the darkness, in working with what's there, that fearful energy. The roots, they're another good one for that, right? That's why that vetiver's there too. They're amazing to just take you into that place of what's hiding there in the shadows, what's hiding there in the dark. Yeah. So when you feel like your base, your roots, your foundations are rattled, turn to some of these essential oils. And black pepper is the one that helps you to return to your light by going through the darkness, embracing what lives in the shadow, embracing what's rattling you and shaking you, like looking it in the eye with respect and with gratitude, because you are who you are and you're here because of whatever it is that's happened recently or you know, a while ago. So again, a blend that, you know, you could do for that base chakra is black pepper, cedarwood, grapefruit, and vetiver. And that grapefruit comes in with, you know, so many beautiful gifts. When we look at the citruses, they come from the fire element. Our book is broken up into the elements, and we have fire, air, water, earth, and akasha, which is the spirit realm. And akasha is actually your resins and your seeds. The fire element are your fruits, right? So it's like when we look at stoking the fire in our belly, when we look at that, we need to say, what is it? Sorry, I'm just bringing the page open for you on grapefruit. What is it in me that I feel I need to get back in touch with my passions? Because, you know, when our base is rattled, when we're in our fear, we're not tapping into our passions. So the fire, the fruits help to get us back into that because they're bringing that light back. The black pepper and the grapefruit, they're the two fruits in this. So the grapefruit is around honoring yourself. So where can I go as I look into this shadow aspect, honoring myself, all of me, accepting all of me, loving all of me, right? The way that you journey with them is your own way, but for us, you know, the 3 keywords for grapefruit are body love, acceptance, and self-reliance, and the gift is honoring yourself. Black pepper, the 3 keywords are truth, warding, and sovereignty. Truth, warding, and sovereignty. So it's that protection when you feel like you're having that wobbly, and black pepper comes in to help bring you that stability, like I said, you know, anchoring with that vetiver, but also helping you to come back to your sovereign self. What does sovereignty mean to you? You know, we can't control everything, but we can certainly make a choice to be authentically who we are. And black pepper, that's black pepper's gift, actually, you know, authenticity. So the sacral is just below the navel, just below the navel. And its color is orange, and it's often activated with sexual arousal and can be deactivated or overstimulated when a violation occurs in that area as well. It associates with our reproductive system, and its purposes are twofold. So we have creativity and pleasure. Right? So when we're balancing it, we need to look at what's happened in our lives. Like if you're working with yourself, or maybe some of you work with clients, we need to kind of look at the history there. So there's a few oils that can assist with this. You know, I guess the psychologist in me wants to look at all of it, because I do know that so many people have been violated. We're actually in the minority, those that haven't. So, you know, what oils help us to return to love as well, and to return to wanting to be more sensual just for ourselves, and sexual comes later, right? It takes time to heal that. And then for those that maybe just haven't been in a position for that, those that are widowers, those that are grieving, you know, whatever it might be, where all of that's shut down for whatever reason, could be religious indoctrination. So we have wild orange, tangerine, just like the red and the deep orange citrus oils are really good for this. Like think of those colors that come in. And actually pink pepper, another fruit which is really good for the heart chakra, can be really powerful for this as well, because the gift of pink pepper is true love. So if there has been something that's caused lack of harmony in this sacral, then we can come back to it with love via the passageway of love. Then we have the Whisper blend, really good for this, doTERRA's Whisper, because it has so many of the powerful oils. Jasmine. Jasmine is super, super powerful, and you all have a chance to win jasmine, to receive that for free over July and August. If you just share these beautiful essential oils with 4 people, you'll receive a free 5 ml jasmine, and of course a Rosalina. And Rosalina I'll cover, but she's great for the heart. bringing love in, and you could combine her with the jasmine for this energy center as well, this particular chakra. Then we have a really hot, spicy oil called cinnamon bark. Cinnamon bark is so powerful here because cinnamon is like the cassia, comes from the bark of the tree, which protects the tree and creates an armor for the tree, right? It's like that tough skin. So when we over armor ourselves, i.e. I'm not letting anyone else in, I've been hurt, or whatever the story is that we're running, we can create a really thick skin around us that nothing can penetrate. And we don't even let love in, right? So the cinnamon helps to warm us from the inside out, helping us to dissolve that and to know and to understand and to learn again, where is it I feel comfortable? So with Erin, I might be more comfortable in closer proximity, but with someone else I don't know, I might need a further away proximity, energetically and physically. So the cassia and the cinnamon really support us with that. They'll help us to armor and de-armor. Yeah, does that make sense? So for those that are just like really open and free-loving, because remember, this can go the other way. This chakra can also be out of balance, not just to close us down, but to take us down the path of what's labeled as promiscuity. And really what it is it's a craving and a hungering for love, to be filled, to have our cup filled, right, for men and women. So it's not something we ever want to judge. It just is. And I think we need to really honor that place, because the return to love of self has to actually happen first. So are we good with the chat? I haven't been looking at it. Oh, Phoebe. Yeah, thanks, honey. Yeah, so you might, for Phoebe and for all of you, you might want to breathe through some of these, like really take your time and inhale the ones that you're drawn to, and spend time with starting with just one of the essential oils. Just start with one. You know, have a monogamous relationship with one. I love how Adam says that. We have this banter because we run these courses, these online courses, and I'm just going to diverge because it'll make you guys giggle. But Phoebe, this might really help you. And he'll say for homework for people, just spend time with one oil, have a monogamous relationship with one. Then people are going, wow, I'm just so used to blending. And I'm like, y'all don't worry about it. I am so polyamorous, it's ridiculous. I am constantly blending oils. This goes with that at Suzanne's, you know. I'm like bringing this and bringing that and wanting to bring them all in. But here's what happens when we just use one, and why I love working with one personally is because I really hear the unique signature, the song, and feel the pulse of that particular oil, and I feel where they want to journey in me, right? So I think that's just the difference between, you know, someone who does this and who can intuit stuff and someone who feels they can't. It's just actually pausing and taking time to go into it, journey deep. So the other one I would say is clary sage. Now, clary sage traditionally is often used for the upper chakras, particularly the ajna, the third eye. But I love her around this work because it's connecting you and restoring wisdom, connecting you with your wisdom, restoring safety in this center as a woman. And that's really important. So, you know, Phoebe, my love, if I can just offer something for you, the clary sage might be really beautiful here with the myrrh and rose. You know, they might be really beautiful. And then just bring a citrus that just makes you joyous, so joyous, whether that's wild orange that has those joy bubbles or whatever it might be for you. So Erin, the whisper, jasmine, cinnamon, and cassia, would you use this one aromatically and topically? So I want you to just remember that cinnamon and cassia are very, very hot. So some skin types, they just can't handle those on their skin at all. They just can't, right? And I think you need to be mindful of that. Definitely keep them away from your thin membranes. So if you're wanting to do any self-pleasure type work, and even if that's just massaging your heart and massaging over to your breasts to just reconnect, to going down with your hands down into, down the sternum, down into the womb space, going down deep with your hands into that and just massaging over your belly to get to that place of pleasure again, because that's our creative energy place. And then of course you have your yoni, right? And I don't know if there are any men that watch this, your lingam. So that's the vagina is the yoni and the lingam is the penis, right? So for those that are wanting to come back into that place of healing, you can self-pleasure, of course, but I probably wouldn't be doing that with the cinnamon and the cassia. They're just too hot, yeah, to go down to those thin membranes. So what you could do is rose would be really beautiful with the, I mean, the whisper has it, whisper, jasmine, and rose you could do. So Clary Sage is connecting with that safety, and she's also really beautiful coming up into the solar plexus as well, like, you know, coming up into that safe place of being able to vision yourself as empowered again. Marjoram. Marjoram's another amazing one, especially where there has been sexual violation. If there has been loss, mourning, some men and women are just really regretful for when they for that first time they said yes to the first time, you know, for their first sexual experience. They thought it was all well and good at the time and wanted to, and then spend like, as in piss away, energy on being regretful around it. So marjoram will really help bring some tenderness in that and soothing around any grief. But also if it's just been taken away from you. And Lang Ylang. Lang Ylang is so gorgeous for the sacral because she's bringing that maiden energy back in. So this is one you can kind of teleport yourself back in time with and bring that healing pre any trauma to this area. I just want to say that anything to do with creative energy that you feel is stifled, you can work with these oils on as well with this area, because remember the sacral is creativity and pleasure, right? So we're wanting to bring that back. We're wanting to reintroduce this back into our lives. So a blend you could do is jasmine, wild orange, and cinnamon bark. 1 drop of cinnamon, 3 drops of wild orange, and 2 to 3 drops of jasmine. And you put that in about between 10 and 20 mils of carrier oil, depends on your sensitivities, but 10 to 15 mils would do it. And you can just, you know, massage that over the sacral area, the lower back, the corresponding place. And of course you can diffuse it or use it as a roller bottle, pure fume for yourself. Okay, any questions, my darlings? Lang Ylang in bath salts is divine. You know, if you're working with this particular energy, you could do the Lang Ylang and the marjoram with the whisper blend. That would be really, really succulent and really beautiful in a mix of Epsom salts, you know, magnesium flakes. You can use the magnesium, a beautiful liquid, you know, it's really, really powerful. Solar plexus are at the base of your sternum. So that's just here and this part there. So traditionally they're seen as circular. This may feel kind of like a pyramid up in there sometimes, this beautiful shape like a triangle. It's a yellow color, and it's your sense of this area can actually shift based on what's happening. So when you're scared, you receive a shock, trauma can take you out of it. You can feel it kind of almost like it dislocates a bit. It comes back, but you can kind of feel it go, or it can kind of just stay there for a bit, and then you just kind of need to breathe it back. When you're tuning into your chakras, as you breathe, you just breathe and you focus on each of these points as I'm telling you roughly where they are. It will increase your awareness of them and how they're feeling for you. Sometimes they feel really big, sometimes they feel really small, and sometimes they're just humming along at, you know, and indeterminable size, right? So there's no right or wrong, it just is. And you can self-govern and self-regulate based on what feels good for you. So this area governs the digestive system, and empowerment is ruled by this center. Confidence, friendliness, and sociability live in here. For those of you that want to go deeper with this and learn more about it, in our pages in our book 18 and 19, we go quite deeply into this. Okay, so for these oils, bergamot, lemon, lemongrass, yellow mandarin, yuzu, for those of you that have yuzu. You know, think citrus oils for this area, really powerful. The foodie oils are powerful for this center because it's digestive system. So you could also bring in, to create synergies, those synergistic blends, some fennel, some cardamom, and even star anise. Star anise will show up later for some of the other chakras, but star anise as well could be used in here, right? Really, really powerful, beautiful essential oil. So you can also look at ginger, turmeric. They're really beautiful for this also. Any questions? No, okay. So the heart, we have two heart chakras. We have this heart chakra and then the upper heart chakra, or the thymus heart, or the higher heart, some people call it. So let's start with this one here, just in the sternum between the breasts. This governs the cardiovascular and lymphatic system. You'll see it often as a greeny color, beautiful soft green, or a pink sometimes, but often it's symbolized as green. And this represents that giving and receiving, that reciprocation and serving and giving of love. Like it's just this beautiful, you know, dance with love. So bergamot, geranium, green mandarin, lime. Can you see how sometimes with these you'll get this strong color correspondence between the plant and the chakra? I think lime was the last one I said. Palmarosa is really beautiful for this area also, just the gentleness of Palmarosa is so gorgeous. Pink pepper, rose, cypress, and eucalyptus. So note that in times of imbalance, marjoram and lavender can also be used to soothe this area. That would be beautiful in Epsom salts, for instance, with some rose. So you could create a blend as you wanted with that. Layer with rose lots, often and much, just over the heart, over the heart, over the heart. You can make a heart shape there. That's really powerful. Go to your back. So most people are always focusing on the front of their chakras, the front of their body, sorry, for their chakras, but it's corresponding at the back. And when you hear things like, for those that read my stuff or follow me, I'll often say, may the wings of your heart unfurl. And that's like, you know, your wings, your little wing buds, let them open and unfurl, you know, and you'll be wrapped up in the love of your love, the love of the universe, love of the divine, because you are divine. So then we go into the higher heart, or you'll often hear me say upper heart. It doesn't really matter what you call it. The thymus chakra, doesn't matter. This is really this beautiful turquoise blue, or this soft, yummy, lovely rose pink color. That beautiful rose damask color, actually. And it smells beautiful. It has such a beautiful, like, energy scent. It's just, this is gorgeous. This is the place of unconditional love and compassion, humility. You know, the servant heart lives here. And what's really beautiful is creating this beautiful bridge between the upper heart and this lower heart chakra, just like a golden bridge or a rainbow bridge, and just breathing and circling that energy round and round between them, just to bring some stability to that lower heart when you feel like you've been rocked or shattered a bit. And we can go to questions. I'll just get through these and we'll go to questions on heart stuff if you guys want to go deeper. But for the higher heart, you can use oils like rose, rosalina. Please make sure you receive the rosalina, if nothing else. Like, she is divine. She's such a beautiful, powerful, and she's from our land. She's from Australia, right? Pink pepper, really good for this upper heart chakra. Magnolia, neroli, wintergreen, another beautiful one. There's lots, but yeah. Okay, so the throat chakra, where we started, what Erin was saying. This is related, as I said, to the respiratory system. Blue color, it's around our self-expression, creative expression, joyous expression, yeah, communicating clearly and honestly. And as this center becomes more and more balanced and become more familiar with it, we, from this center, actually understand others more deeply, others' words, you know, others' expressions, the way that what's said and unsaid, we we're more understanding. So there's different oils you can work with again, but peppermint, spearmint, you know, any of the sandalwoods. I'm quite partial to Hawaiian sandalwood. You'll see Hawaiian sandalwood come up for me a lot. So Hawaiian sandalwood, manuka, and tea tree. So one that's not mentioned much, but Pauline, I think it was you that said you're a Reiki master. This zeal chakra might really appeal to you or to some of you. So it's here at the base of the skull. If you just take your hands and pop your hand there, it's that occiput or that occipital region right there. That's the zeal chakra, also known as the mouth of God. Isn't that beautiful? It's the mouth of our divinity, the voice of our divinity. So this one governs expression and divine truth. Isn't that beautiful? You know, like just bringing that in. To open this, to bring balance to it, will also bring this feeling of having your inner strengths and inner wisdoms harnessed and enhanced. So it can enhance psychic abilities like clairvoyance, astral travel, telepathy. I don't know if you're into that, but it can assist with that. So some of the oils you can look at, there are many, but again, you go for those high vibration oils: frankincense, copaiba, melissa, and Hawaiian sandalwood. The third eye is just here, just above, you know, where your eyebrows, the gap between your eyebrows, just a bit above. That's the ajna, just there, the third eye. If you kind of put your fingers there, so if you just put one finger between your eyebrows and the second finger on top and go up to where that second finger is, that's where it is, right there. Yeah, well, right there, basically around there. So this is the pituitary gland, so it's not exactly there. The pituitary gland is kind of between here and the throat, and then go back in a trajectory. And then it's, you know, it's like in your head, boom. Between here and here in your head, you know, between here, the back of your head, and as your throat meet, if that all went up into one point, you'd get to your pituitary gland. Oh no, that's your pineal, sorry. Your pituitary gland is there, for fuck's sake. See what happens to me? Someone needs some stuff on pineal gland, so I'll go in and do a pineal thing in a minute. That's what happens. That's why I have these notes. So that's your pituitary, pineal's there. Now you all know where your pineal is. Okay, so this is around intellect, intuition, understanding the world. This is around kind of getting out of your own way so that you can actually see what is truly in front of you. This is lifting of the veil, the mists, the quagmire of muck around you, the illusion. This is where you can see truth more clearly. There's a lot of oils you can work with here. Here are some. Basil. Does that surprise you? Basil. So the leaves in this are in the element of air in our beautiful book, right? Air element. The small leaves, what we refer to as the small leaves, are things like rosemary and basil. They're the herbs. They come from small bushes, right? Small plants. The large leaves come from your larger trees. So like eucalyptus, right? So the small leaves help to bring in a really finely tuned, honed in focus point. Really good for when you want to get intentional in your meditation or creation work or healing work. The small leaves are really good. The bigger leaves give us a big, broad, beautiful perspective. It's like an eagle's eye view over everything. You have this shift, this change of perspective with the leaves, and one brings in a more honed in view and one brings in a broader view. Hope that helps. But that's where basil is really good for here. Basil's great for intuitive work. Blue tansy is a great one for there. Clary sage, as I said earlier, she's fantastic for here. That deeper visioning. Blue tansy takes you into the dreamscape, the dreaming, the bringing the dreams through and the messages of the dreams through. And, you know, maybe any prophetic stuff that comes through. Blue tansy is really great for that. And the clary sage, of course, for prophecy. Envisioning. Copaiba. Copaiba's gift is know thyself. So this is a really great way to just land in with a mantra like that. You know, just saying know thyself, know thyself, just coming into being open to that. Juniper berry, great for this one. Fennel. So the seeds, like I said, are in the element of Akasha, and they speak to our potentiality. Yeah, isn't that beautiful? Like, you know, just coming into this place and just looking at that infinite realm of possibilities and where our potential lies and which one we want to kind of bring back in with us. Rosemary, like I said, star anise would be a good one here as well, and yarrow, the yarrow palm. The crown chakra, so many people say it's the 1,000-petaled lotus, that blooming, that opening into a more blissful, enlightened, awakened state. This is the higher brain. This is the pineal, okay? This is where we go here. So this is around your spirituality, your life mission, your soul mission, that spiritual purpose. You know, why am I here? This takes you here. So Abovite, divine assistance, divine alignment, recalibration, repelling what doesn't serve you. That's the joy of Abovite. Copaiba, lavender, Litsea. A lot of people underestimate the value of Litsea. Litsea is actually this beautiful purple berry and amazing for this kind of work. I'm glad, Rebecca. Wonderful. I'm glad it's helping. Frankincense. You know, frankincense, let's not ever underestimate Frankie Boy, please. He's like rose, a beautiful high vibration oil. All right, so you want to work with him when you're working with that divine realm. Yeah, more wanting to access that. That's around the enlightenment, the magnificence, the knowing who you are and why you're here, and bringing that out to the world with courage and conviction. Helichrysum. Helichrysum's a really good one for this area too. I really like her for the crown, just because she's constantly clearing out any wounding, pain points, clearing out, so that you don't just whoosh, close it down as soon as that next transmission wants to come through. She's like, let's just stay open. You're safe. You're fine. We're just going to soothe that away. You're safe here, you know? A lot of people have pain in this area because it was shut down in them when they were younger. No, you didn't speak to that. What are you talking about? You're talking about fairies. Angels. Oh, there are no angels. That's for kids. But, you know, 5 minutes ago, that child was allowed to talk about angels and fairies and talking to trees and whatever it was. And now just because they've turned, you know, they've crossed this invisible line, they've turned 5 or 6 or 10 or whatever it is in that family, they're not allowed. It's not appropriate. It's been fine and cute and wonderful all this time. And now all of a sudden they've got to grow up. Right? So Litsea brings the joy and the laughter and the joviality back on your spiritual quest, and the Helichrysum soothes any wounding and fearfulness or pain around that, and frankincense works. Frankincense and Copaiba, being resins, work deep with any wounding, any psychic wounding, any shutdown wounding. Melissa is beautiful, that lemon balm, that light, that vibrancy. Rose, of course, rose, cannot get enough of rose, and either of the sandalwoods would be really good for this as well. Okay, 2 more to go. Are you with me still, or should I stop there? Is this too much information? How's everyone going? Good? Okay, all good, awesome. So we have next the soul star chakra. So if you just kind of imagine the crowns here and then go up a bit, kind of, you know, maybe to about there, stretch your arm up, all the way up. I kind of feel like up there somewhere, if you can see me, let me go back, like right up there somewhere. I feel like that's where the stellar gateway starts to open up, and kind of halfway between there and there. That's where I feel my soul star chakra, just really big and open, and it's like this pearly white, shimmery, swirling, yummy energy center there. More. Okay, I'm keeping on going. Alrighty. So this is your regulation to and with your connection to the universe, to that cosmos, and to the light beings that dwell there. So the angels, the star beings, deities that you connect with, whatever those light beings are for you, this center facilitates that link. So your capacity to sense, perceive, hear, see, whatever it is, right? All of the clairs, clairvoyant, clairaudient, clairsentient. You know, don't be too attached to any of it. We all have it within us, and it's just a matter of letting that come out and play. Yeah. This is the place of oneness and connection. So like I said, if you feel like I'm going too fast, it's okay. I mean, you have the recording, but it's all in here. Like, we've got really, really good descriptions. Let me show you. It's you know, there's heaps here just so that you feel confident. We have 2 pages so far dedicated to this, right? And it shows you where they're placed as well, just to kind of help you. There's a rough placement there, right? So there's 2 pages there for you guys. So just take it in now, and then you can read it in the book later. Jasmine, Siberian fir, Melissa, magnolia. The magnolia that doTERRA uses, have you seen it? It's the magnolia with those silky white petals that are thin and spindly rather than the really thick ones. They're these thin and spindly. So the jasmine, you know, the black spruce. Actually, I don't know where that went. That's probably my Stellar Gateway, but black spruce is good for this one too. They have this, you know, this energy, this spindly energy, this outward. Like, if you look at the shape of, you know, things like star anise and jasmine, they actually form a star, connecting you with those, you know, those star beings. And the magnolia is taking you up into that soul star area, right? Roman chamomile, look at her flowers and how she opens up and connects you. Rose again, and star anise. And then the Stellar Gateway. I actually really love this chakra. And did any of you receive the Blue Lotus? Did any of you buy the Precious Florals pack? So we had in there 4 ml bottles of rose, jasmine, neroli, magnolia, and Blue Lotus. So Blue Lotus is such a powerful essential oil. She's so rare. You know, you can't just buy her anywhere. It's very difficult to buy her unadulterated. Emily Wright, who's one of the 7 owners of doTERRA, honestly thought that she would never be able to have this, never find it pure, but they did. They did. You know, doTERRA are persistent. You know, they're always in the pursuit of what's pure and real. And this Blue Lotus is so subtle, and she just blew me away. I have Blue Lotus in our pond, and you know, so Blue Lotus is a lily. She's perfect for this beautiful Stellar Gateway chakra, the next one up. So the one I said where your hand goes straight up. And she's really beautiful if you want to, just before sleep time, along the hairline. And you can layer with magnolia or jasmine or any of the precious florals, rose, and neroli, of course. So yeah, you got them for your birthday, Vicky. That's beautiful. So she's totally delicate. She is, but she has this strength in her. She has this real strength. I think the delicate feeling comes from her because she smells. So like it's almost really faint, but then you put her on the skin and she interacts with your chemistry, and then you really start to smell her and feel her and experience her in a different way. So just hold that in mind as I explain this now. So this chakra, the Stellar Gateway, is seen as like this golden or like a pure light. It could just be pure white light, you know, no color. It's what often gives the halo effect. You know, the halo around saints and some of the deities and beings, or around certain people's photos, you'll see like almost like a halo around them. That's the Stellar Gateway. You'll see it around a lot of the masters as well. Those of you who have had the privilege to work with any masters, so those that have crossed over, the ascended masters, but also those that are on this earth plane. It governs the direct link between your soul and the divine. It's really yummy. So this is around ascension, illumination, enlightenment, and also that interdimensional travel for anyone who's into that. You know, we may not be able to leave and jump on a plane, but we can travel the astral plane maybe together, or go into the different dimensions, whatever floats your boat. So it acts as this kind of like this portal or gateway, as it says, this portal into other dimensions. It's a gateway into different star systems, if that's what you'd like to do, and those wise star beings that dwell within there. You can access also greater knowledge and learnings from the Akashic Records. The Akashic Records, also known as the Book of Your Life, but the Akashic Records holds all information of past, present, and future lifetimes. The Akashic Masters themselves have never incarnated in human form. They're just like pure vibration, unconditional love. They're just beautiful. So if you ever want to commune with those, they're really gorgeous to hang out with. And these oils that I'm going to speak about will assist with that, as well as frankincense, of course. If you just have frankincense and rose, you'll do fine with all the chakras. Okay, so let's look at this. So activate this stellar gateway with high vibration sound. All of them can be activated with sound, by the way. I won't go into that today, but can be activated with sounds. And be really mindful of the kind of music you play, the kind of music and the kind of noise you have around you, is what I just want to say there. And then, of course, with meditation and high vibration essential oils, you can activate this. So you can look at some of the oils like black spruce, blue lotus, helichrysum, jasmine, rose, blue tansy. I said frankincense, you know, he'll magnify everything. Let me just... Okay, so yeah, so then you can just dip into what you want to do, how you want to play. So I think I've pretty much left, yep, I've left 20 minutes for questions. Yay, so we can have interaction time and, you know, whatever it is you guys need, we can do that now. How are you all feeling? Was that just a bit like information overload, or are we good? You're a very attentive group. I love it. Thank you.
No, that's great. Thanks, Ness.
Great.
I like to learn all these different extra aspects. It's funny how when you were talking, things that I've been drawn to doing over the last few weeks have just made sense. Like, I always trust when an oil chooses me that that's what I need to be using, and it alters how I feel very, very quickly. And so I've been very drawn to using pink pepper and black pepper and turmeric in a veggie capsule and taking that twice a day for the last 3 weeks, and it has changed a lot of things physically, but also in my being, my feelings. I use magnolia in a heart shape over my heart chakra every single night, and it's interesting because I had a call with Libby, a reading with Libby probably about 4 weeks back, and she mentioned about how much I astro travel and how I probably just need to rein it in a little bit. And so she brought up some petitgrain, using some petitgrain at night time in the diffuser for that. So yeah, I'm loving exploring different aspects of that. Has anyone got any questions?
Yeah, Rosalind, that's perfect. You know, you're saying you need to go back over it and get it to settle in your brain. Absolutely. It's like, you know, we're flexing different muscles here, right? We're learning new things. We need time to let it digest and sit with it. That rest and digest is really important. So lean into your digestive oils, or, you know, just get the Digescent out with some carrot oil and massage it over your belly. Big circular motions clockwise and over your lower back. It's really awesome. So Phoebe says, yes, I've been told my energy is too big. I feel everyone's energy. Can you suggest anything for this? If I can just, I don't want to contradict that, but I'm just mindful of things like your energy is too big. It's not that it's too big. It's perfect. It's perfect for you. You know, the black pepper, turmeric, and pink pepper that Erin spoke about, when you look at oils that support our constitution, our robust wellness, our ability to come back to our natural state, they're very protective oils. So On Guard, tea tree, eucalyptus, wintergreen, they're all really protective oils. So Phoebe, there's a few things you can do. One is you can take, just grab it, you can just take like the tea tree, for instance, and you can just put tea tree and a bit of frankincense and rosemary, a drop of each in your hand, tea tree, frankincense, rosemary. Just 3 deep breaths with your intention to call on protection around your energy fields. So you might want to say a little prayer like, I call forth vibrations of unconditional love or higher to me, within me, around my home and heart, throughout my energy fields, like, and then you take those deep breaths and then you zhuzh it over your energy field. And if you feel like yours is big, go big. Just go really big. You know, just because someone's told you that doesn't mean, you know, doesn't mean anything. So you just shush, you just swish it through your energy body and down and around your body. It's like you're aromatically dressing your energy body, your auric field, right? And then just take your hands and zhuzh around this way. And then just take the rest and put it actually on your clothes. Do under your pits, do over your clothes, your hair, like all of it. Just zhuzh, zhuzh, zhuzh. Yeah, I hope that helps, Phoebe. I just want to say to you all, I would really invite you not to take what other people say as gospel. Even if they're saying they're psychic and, you know, all the things. I mean, you are a sovereign being. You know yourself better than anyone. It's just time for you to remember the truth of who you are. That's really all that's happening here. It's the remembering. Rosemary is beautiful for that remembrance, but she's also really powerful for protection and clearing negative energy. And especially people who think they have permission to tell you who and what you are, you know, whether you've given it to them or not. So.
And it's often their stuff projected, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. I am like a bit of a fierce mama. I'll come in to protect you. You know, if someone said, you're too much of this or you're too that, I just don't tend to like it myself personally. So Phoebe, does that help, honey girl? All right. Any other questions? We can just like open mic, unmute yourselves and ask a question if you feel I can serve in any way with blends or going deeper into any of those essential oils. I mean, I didn't really go that deep into all of them. I just chose a few to go deeper into because we would have been here all night.
So Rosalind's asked, are there any that should not be mixed together?
No. It's totally dependent on your, you know, your olfactory bulbs, whether they tingle and dance and do a happy dance over it or whether they go, pukey, mama, change it. You know, I'm definitely not of the school of opinion that just because you don't like something means you need it. There could be part of you resisting it, absolutely. So let's say you took off the cap of Melissa or Helichrysum, but you took off the cap of Melissa and you just went, ugh, no, don't want anything to do with that. You could look at it and say, is that me negating my light, my capacity to come back to my light, to align with the divine? And listen to your truthful response to that. If you hear a yes, then you might want to work with her a little. And the best way to do that, like with an oil you're repelled by, is leave the lid on and just tune into it, like attune to its vibrational frequency. And what does that mean? That's probably a bit too vague. So just tune into connecting with it, breathe in, and place it where you feel you need it the most. Like, why do you feel you need that bottle of Melissa, for instance? Like, just because it said whatever it said in whatever book you were reading or Google said, what is it that you feel you need with her? And like if it's illumination and you feel like you want to open this center or open up your crown, just place it over the area, open your heart, whatever it might be, just place on that area and ask for the gifts that you want it to bring. Just ask that way. And then when you're ready, you just do that and you take the lid off. And then when you're ready, you just put a smidge on your finger and you just do that. And then you may go and wash your fingers straight away, or you might get courageous and just go, just very gently breathe in a little bit and let those aromatic molecules dance up that nasal cavity of yours, you know, and bounce off those bulbs and into the brain. Smell is one of the most powerful ways, the single most powerful ways to change, alter your mood state. You'll work with your chemistry, you'll work with so much, so deeply. So yeah, hopefully that helps, Rosalind, and all of you. Any other questions?
With Yarrow Pom, I resisted that for a year. I wouldn't open the bottle. I wouldn't smell there was just something that was, I even gave a bottle away. I gave a bottle to my mother-in-law who's on this call, Sue. I gave her a bottle because I couldn't bring myself, there was something I couldn't bring myself to open, and I use it twice a day now. So there was just, I felt that at that period of time, it wasn't going to, I wasn't ready for what was to come. And as you know, you've seen quite a bit of what would you call it, transformation, or a bit of a change in how things have evolved with myself in lots of different ways. And I was ready to then use Yarrow Pom, and it's been a truly remarkable oil for me. Forgive was another one that as soon as I smelt it for the very first time, I was repelled by it. And then as I started doing some more self-development and work within myself, it's now one of my favorite blends. So don't just disregard any oils, guys. Just keep working with them. When you need them, they'll show up for you.
Something that's really beautiful that that you might want to do is I didn't talk about using this as an oracle yet, did I?
No.
I've done classes and consults throughout the day today, and I'm getting to the point where am I doubling up? If I repeat myself, shut me up. So you can just take this book. When I had visions of this book and she was being birthed, I wanted her to be really beautiful, like aesthetically pleasing, and like a coffee table book, and to be stroked often and much and held and loved, for everyone to receive her love. So a beautiful way that you can do this is take her in your arms and just hold her to your heart and ask a question or place an intention in there of wisdom you'd like to receive, or something you'd like to attune into or dissolve, relinquish, whatever it is. And then just hold that thought. And when you're ready, after you've breathed into it, you just open it up. So funny, I actually, in those 3 seconds, did it, and I did love. And look what I opened up to. Amorosa. My gift to you is loving direction. The 3 words are integrity, respect, return to love. And the affirmation is, I am a champion of love. So it works. It's really powerful. So you can use it that way and then have that as the monogamous oil relationship that you have, or add that one to a blend maybe that you're wanting to complete, like Rosalind, taking your question, for instance, maybe you have a couple of oils, 2 or 3 oils, and you just feel like it needs something else. So you can just kind of open and do that and go, oh, hey, wow, yeah, the Palm Rose is going to help with that, or whatever it might be. Yeah. So hopefully that helps as well.
And I can attest to that because I tagged Ness in this the other day when I did it, actually. I just felt uneasy, and I felt like I needed some comfort and some safety and a bit of protection. And so I asked, I did the same thing. I asked the question, and Nauli came up, and then that beautiful blend stood out to me, and I diffused that and had about 4 or 5 different essential oils, and that was the most incredible aroma. And it made me almost instantly feel what I was asking for, and the words were safety, comforted, protected in the actual book. So I do love playing with it that way too.
Yeah, it's really beautiful. Erin. So I think there was a question with how to get this. Are you all in Australia? Where can I get the book? Look at that. You're all in Australia, so you can go to just go to Adam Barralay's site. That's where we've set up the shop, which is Crystal Connections.
I'll write that in there again.
And I think our book is like the first thing there you can buy. He's got his courses and stuff there, but the book is there. And she's 1.6 kilos of bliss. She's a hardcover. She's very heavy. She's weighty with her wisdom. Yeah, and utterly beautiful. It's 2 pages per book, per plant. Yeah.
It's a beautiful resource to have, and I gifted it to Rebecca the month before last, and so she's loving it. She's loving it.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Is there anything else that you feel called to let us know?
I kind of feel like I want to touch on meditation just for a minute. Would that be all right? Yeah. So meditation is something I invite you to bring into your life in some way every day. So whether that's if you slip into like a meditative type practice while you're cooking, while you're dancing, you're painting, you're writing, you're walking in nature, or if you're actually sitting and being still and focusing on your breath and connecting with source, the universe, whatever it is. I encourage you to do this for a number of reasons. One is it's going to help you to be less reactive in the world and to tune into responsiveness rather than reactiveness, which will help give your sympathetic system a break and let your parasympathetic system be more engaged, which is quite novel for humans. It will soothe you like nothing else and support your your immune function and lymphatic system and your capacity to think and remember, your energy levels. But it will also fine tune you. It'll attune your frequency. It'll help give you that clean out that you need, the way that we clean our home and spring clean. And it's like that for the soul, for your whole sacred vessel, this whole body. So there's many different ways to meditate. There's many different things you can be doing with it, or just sit and be and do nothing. There's an app called Instant Calm. There's lots, but you can tune into those if you prefer to be guided through it. But bring it in some way in your life. Even if it's for 5 minutes. Walking meditations are beautiful. So yeah, that's all I want to say. And you can create an aromatic anchor with the essential oils with them as well. Yeah, so Erin's using Abraham Hicks. I think a lot of people are using Abraham Hicks. He's come back again into people's consciousness. I love Dr. Joe Dispenza. Yeah, he's really powerful. He's probably one of the most powerful vessels because he's helping people to just lean in and do it themselves. He brings that balance between science and the metaphysical and the quantum field. They all meet there in the quantum field, and he brings that into a really cohesive, simple way for the layperson to understand. Tanya, meditation is something I'd like to focus on. I'm the queen of overthinking. I need to introduce. Yeah, so Magnolia would be great for you. Neroli would be great for you. Vedava on your big toe to help quieten that mind. Yeah, good. Beautiful, Phoebe. All right.
Well, thank you very much, Vanessa, for
So,
joining us tonight. I believe a lot of people have gotten what they needed out of this for their own self, which is incredible. And have a play around, guys, with some mists and some diffuser blends and some roller blends and aromatically dress and do what feels great for you. Even for the crown, you could add it to, when you're washing your hair, shampoo in those essential oils and get them into your crown, or use a spray into the hair. Yeah, thank you all.
And it's interesting, lavender and rosemary are often used for the hair, and that crown space, those feel beautiful. I'll give you a really quick summary if you want to write this down for everyone, Erin. But so if you just want one simple oil to tune into per chakra, you could do cedarwood for base. This is seven centers, right? Cedarwood for base, wild orange, then lemongrass, then geranium. I'm going up to the heart now. So cedarwood from the base to sacral, wild orange, solar plexus, lemongrass, heart, geranium, throat, cypress, third eye, juniper berry, and the crown, lavender.
The solar plexus, geranium.
No, that's the heart. Solar plexus is lemongrass.
Lemongrass.
And then the heart chakra is geranium.
A lot of people either love or hate geranium, don't they?
Yes, I'm one of those people. I like her when I'm ovulating, and that's about it. Even then, it's not every cycle. Cypress for the throat. So just use the rose for the heart. I mean, she works with both hearts, the upper and the lower. This is just if you want affordable oils to share with your customers or your friends or whatever. This is really easy. Juniper berry for the third eye and lavender for the crown. And I give Adam Barrelay full credit for that genius, that simplicity. See, he's really good at being monogamous. He's just really freaking good at it. I'm not. I'm like, how many oils did I give you per chakra? He's genius. Follow him. Jump on his YouTube, Crystal Connections, and he has an incredible, what's it called, Erin? The podcast. He has an amazing podcast as well. It's fallen out of my head what it's called, but it's all there on his website. You'll see it. He is amazing. He's deeply intuitive and beautiful, beautiful man. Gorgeous.
Loves the animals as well as the plants, as well as the crystals. Very,
yeah, he really does.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much for having me, everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you. May your journey be sweet and succulent and utterly delicious and joy-filled, because you deserve it. Just reclaim it. Get back to it. Enjoy your life, relish the bliss, and just go nuts. Do lines of essential oils whenever you need. Whenever the shit hits the fan, do lines of essential oils.
Use them before that too.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Rosalind.